Here's the brief news from the world over this week. The Synod on the Family may be over, but before the close, the bishops elected several traditional-minded cardinals to its permanent council. They're tasked with supervising the work of the Synod staff until the next assembly. Among them, Cardinals George Pell, Robert Serra, Wilfrid Napier, Mark Willett, and Philadelphia Archbishop Charles Chaput, who was one of the more outspoken Synod fathers. Some of the reform-minded prelates elected to the council include Cardinal Oscar Maradiaga, Cardinal Vincent Nichols, and Archbishop Forte, the secretary of the Synod. And Pope Francis continues shaping the Church through bishop appointments this week in two major Italian archdioceses. Bishop Matteo Zuppi, known as the Bergoglio of Italy, will become the Archbishop of Bologna. He has been an auxiliary of the Rome Diocese since 2012. He replaces conservative stalwart Cardinal Carlo Caffarra. And a priest is making the unusual leap of being anointed, or appointed rather, as a Metropolitan Archbishop. Monsignor Corrado Lorefice of the Noto Diocese will become Archbishop of Palermo. Historically, archbishops from both of these archdioceses are appointed cardinals. And with the Synod on the Family in the rearview mirror, the Vatican is now full steam ahead on climate change. A day after the close of the Synod, bishops representing bishops' conferences from around the world held a press conference pushing for an enforceable global agreement at the upcoming climate conference in Paris. The church leaders are presupposing that man-made global warming is a fact and are calling for limits on average temperatures and for decarbonization goals, among other measures. Cardinal Oswald Gracias, the president of the Asian Bishops' Conference, made his appeal for the Paris meetings.
The heads of governments and representatives of the heads of governments will come together to take decisions that will be binding, we hope, on their countries, so that there can be a long-term effect on climate change.
Meanwhile, in the U.S., Republican Congressman Paul Ryan was elected Speaker of the House on Thursday. Ryan inherits an unpopular and divisive House from retiring Speaker John Boehner. Ryan admitted in his opening speech that the House is broken, and he urged prayer as the Congress turns a new page.
A lot is on our shoulders. So if you ever pray, let's pray for each other. Republicans for Democrats, and Democrats for Republicans.
Ryan further promised to return the House to regular order, eschewing hastily passed deals brokered by party leaders in the White House. The Wisconsin native and Roman Catholic is the youngest speaker to take the gavel in nearly 150 years. I had a chance to visit with Speaker Ryan and his bishop, Robert Morlino of Madison, the night before he was sworn in. We certainly wish the speaker all the best. And the House of Representatives passed a 2-year budget deal on Wednesday. The agreement, negotiated between the White House and outgoing House Speaker John Boehner, increases spending by $80 billion over the sequestration caps, and it raises the debt ceiling through March of 2017. The deal passed 266 to 187, with 167 Republicans voting against it. Critics say the agreement amounted to a backroom deal with President Obama. The bill now goes to the Senate for final approval. More about Speaker Ryan, the budget, and Wednesday's GOP debate in our next segment. And a major policy change in China announced on Thursday. The country's controversial and unpopular one-child policy has been abolished. Strict communist regime controls will remain, however. Beijing will now allow couples to have 2 children, no more, and government-forced abortions and sterilizations will continue. According to state media, the decision was made to, quote, improve the balanced development of population, referring to the country's aging population. Since it was implemented in 1979, the one-child policy has led to more than 300 million abortions, nearly 200 million sterilizations, and a gender side of millions of baby girls. There's a gender imbalance in China of 50 million more men than women in the country. And the political tide is turning in Poland. In parliamentary elections this week, the conservative Law and Justice Party dominated the elections, taking 38% of the vote. The party won, combining strong Catholic social conservatism with populist economic policy. The liberal and pro-EU Civic Platform Party, that has governed for the past 8 years, only managed 24% of the vote. The Law and Justice Party positioned itself as a defender of Poland's Catholic roots and ran on a platform opposing climate change legislation, increased immigration, and warming relations with Russia. And Italy's highest administrative court ruled on Tuesday that marriages of gay couples who wed abroad can't be registered in Italy. The ruling vacates a lower court decision that allowed Rome, Naples, Milan, and other cities to register same-sex marriages. The ruling judge was accused of being swayed by his Catholic beliefs. He denied the accusations, claiming he merely applied the law. The Italian parliament is currently considering civil unions for same-sex couples, but it has met fierce opposition.